bodies are essentially like a musical instrument. We have organs, which are like organs that you play in the church. And if you could listen on a psychic level to the vessel, the human vessel, and all living things, you'll be able to hear music, different tones and notes, because of the frequencies that these different organs or the vessel as a whole resonates at. Music itself is such a powerful conduit for energy, magic, healing, and creation. This wisdom was common knowledge that all of our ancestors used to know. Only recently has this wisdom around music and its true creative power been hidden and changed and then manipulated to have the average person singing along to songs on the radio that are casting negative spells, that are tuned to a dissonant frequency and causing distortion or dis-ease in the body, so disease, and are making people basically manifest negative things into their lives. So there's a spiritual practice called chakra toning, because each of our chakras has its own frequency as well, and you can hum these specific notes to tone your different chakras. If you start from the root and then tone all the way up to the top, it really clears your field and it cleanses that whole chakra and makes you feel very tuned in, very clear and very present. So it's a great thing to do in the AM as a part of your AM ritual or your rising routine. I've actually got a guided chakra toning video and a 6 AM spiritual routine that includes a chakra toning, a guided meditation, and some prayer song. If you want to do a full routine together, check those out on the Great Light Garden YouTube. So it's interesting to get your mind around the idea of music being a frequency that interacts with all living things on the earth, including our vessels and ourselves. So when we listen to music that's tuned to 432, which is the energy or the frequency, the general frequency tone of Mother Earth, then when you listen to music attuned to that, it's in tune with nature or your divine nature. So that is in tune with your vessel as well. So that's why when you listen to 432 music, you feel more filled with light, you feel charged up, it feels really good to listen to, and especially then if the lyrics are written with positive spells, if it's got good intentions, if the person that's recorded the music has got good energy and good intentions with why they're creating it in the first place. And this is why when you listen to 440, which is just slightly off 432, they changed 432 music to 440 in modern times to create what's called like a distortion, because it's not the perfect tuning, so you aren't in perfect harmony, and when everything's in harmony, it's in divine balance. You go out of harmony, it's distortion, and then it's constantly like, it's like rubbing against what it's meant to be. It's almost like causing friction, causing stress and tension just from the tunes, from the frequency. So when you're singing and you're singing melodies and the melodies are toning up the different chakras as you're singing them, if you're singing a line to 432, any melody you sing will be charging yourself up with light, tuning up your chakras, making you really aligned to your true divine nature, which allows for more of your own divine light or your higher self to come in through the vessel and help you in this game of life. Or you can be singing out of tune in 440 and everything you're singing is constantly like causing abrasion or like a distortion to every single chakra, and then afterwards you might not even realize it consciously, because so many of us are energetically numb to how energy feels nowadays, but you might actually feel stress, tension, like a negative energy. And the more that you get used to the difference between listening to 440 tune music and 432 music, you'll start to really see it. So music was always tuned to 432 and other different holy tones as well. And then in about the 1940s, after World War II, is when they were doing experiments to see how they could help control people by the masses using energy weapons and frequency technology. So then they changed the music to be just slightly off to cause like a stress or a tension or some kind of like a lack energy within people's fields, so that they then turn to like wanting or needing energetic fulfillment from, say, the stars, being the star on stage who's singing that song, people basically are wanting some good energy, and so they then start to try and take it from places because they don't know how to just tune up their own field, and the music is causing them distortion and putting negative spells and thoughts and desires into their field, and then they're acting those things out thinking it's their own energy and desires and thoughts when it's not. So as an example, what I noticed really interesting is my song To Raise a God Ray. I carefully crafted these songs through the lyrics mainly. I wrote the melodies, but the melodies, whenever I write songs, they just come to me as a divine download. So I'm not there trying to like work out the melody and try and figure out which chakra is which note and trying to like do all the chakra. I could and I possibly will try it as an experiment. But when it comes as a divine download, I'm aware that this is something that the higher planes want me to share, as it has some kind of healing beyond my understanding. What I can do, and I do consciously, is craft the lyrics to make sure that the lyrics are as supportive and nourishing and fulfilling and lightful as the melodies are. So the melodies are all in 4/3/2, and the music is as well. The lyrics are all carefully crafted, but I was singing my song To Raise a God Ray, and when you sing songs and you start to do the chakra toning, you start to be able to feel which notes tune which chakra. When you are tuning the lower chakras, the notes are low, so you'll be like low, and that like lower tone does lower chakras, and then as you move up the chakras, the tone gets higher and higher, so it goes from like low, low. So you'll notice that the sound raised in frequency or pitch, and that then tunes up and like resonates and vibrates with the different chakras. If you're doing this tuned to 4/4/0, it wouldn't have any positive effect, but if you do it tuned to 4/3/2, then you're living your best life, really. So I was singing my song To Raise a God Ray, and because I can feel the chakras that each note tones, I found it really interesting. Now, this is what happens for me, but it's possible everyone's chakras are different, so I invite you to test out different songs in 4/3/2 and see if you can make note of which chakras that song is particularly healing or charging with light, so that you can then understand the magic or the healing power that the music or that specific song has, whether it's opening your heart more, whether it's connecting your heart to your third eye, or whatever it is. So as an example for To Raise a God Ray, I'm going to sing it slow so you can hear each note and feel it. That's how you can really tell, is when you start to feel it. So that I can feel in my heart. So I stand up tall, face to the sun. I take, is up more here. I take my breath, fill my lungs and say, to raise a God Ray. So it's like as the notes move, you can feel it moving up or down your musical instrument, which is your vessel. So your chakras can almost become like a flute, and when your instrument is really tuned in, really clear, and your chakras are perfectly in harmony with each other, it allows your whole vessel to just vibrate at such a better energy in alignment with the natural energies of the earth and nature around you. I find it interesting as well that I didn't plan this, but the word God, to raise a God Ray, God was up on the crown chakra. And I've not done any experiments on this, but I'd be interested to see if different words I chose end up being like very true to the chakra that I'm singing from at that time. So Yeah, I wanted to just give you a bit more of an eye-opener on music, the power of listening to the light music, 432 music, and then getting a sense on what areas of the vessel those songs are toning up and tuning in, so that you can use music more as a healing tool and a way to charge up those chakras to fill those areas of your life and those aspects of yourself with more light. The chakras themselves, they hold many gifts, many virtues. They govern different aspects of ourselves and our psyche. And so the more that we can heal, nourish and fill these chakras with light, that light expands and it nourishes and heals aspects of ourselves that have been lost or disconnected or felt unworthy, that were still residing within these energy centers from past lives, even from this life, from childhood. And the light is so healing. The nature of the light is to activate, heal, awaken, and call back to the light. So the more you do energetic healing work, then the more that you are bringing in that light, bringing in more of your true divine self. This is how we really transform this whole plane, is through being heaven-like within, or heaven-light within, and then we project that without externally. So you can listen to my music, To Raise a God Ray, or any of my songs on my Ora Zikara YouTube channel or any of the streaming platforms, and you can go on to the Great Light Garden YouTube channel if you want to follow along with the prayer song or the chakra toning guided meditation, or even the Rayleigh ritual, the AM rising ritual. All of my honourings now are on the Great Light Garden website. So the Great Light Garden is my enlightenment and healing center, where the focus is around incarnating your higher self within your physical vessel so that you can live a good life. You can put an end to the suffering of yourself and your lineage, but then also you can help put an end to the suffering on earth and bring in the new golden age, which is what most of us have come here to do. We are the angels, the ascended masters, the light warriors, these beings from the higher realms who have come to earth at this very pivotal time to help transition humanity into a beautiful golden age, which means heaven on earth. Everyone lives in peace, everyone lives in bliss, everyone's healed, no one's hurting each other anymore, and no more suffering. Now, it will take time, but we all have to do our own internal work to get there. It's a one-by-one basis in terms of you do yourself first, but the impact that your own internal healing has ripples far and wide beyond what you could even understand. So listening to good music, 432, just having it on in the car or in the house, or when, like, whether you're singing to it or no, that energy itself is bringing in light. It's cancelling out the distortion. You're not listening to music that's bringing stress into the field and into your home. You're listening to music that's got good energy. And then even if you aren't singing to it, you are doing the world a favour and yourself and your life a favour just through bringing in those positive energies and frequencies. On the Great Light Garden, I've got one-on-one healing sessions that I'm doing. I've got group live journeys like Return to Eden journey, 7 weeks of how to really live a lifestyle that helps you anchor in as much of your higher self as possible, and also a Enlightenment Academy, which is very much anchoring in the higher self, the path to enlightenment. This is kind of walking the way of the ascended masters, and it's probably a bit more hardcore than what the Return to Eden journey is. So if you felt like doing, like, dipping your toes into how can I reach my highest potential and how can I embody more of my higher self, the Return to Eden journey, the next one is starting on the 1st of May, could very well be exactly what you need. And if you are thinking, actually, no, I have already started doing things like that, I want to go all in, I really want to become an ascended master, not just kind of like work my way towards it. No, I want to take this seriously. I know that this is my final lifetime on earth. I know I'm here to make a big impact. The Enlightenment Academy, again, could be great for you. So check out all of these on the Great Light Garden website, and have a God ray. Might the light guide you on. Ta-ra.